Before that, I worked with ITC for a couple of years. Before ITC, I did my undergrad at IIT Kharagpur. Otherwise born brought up in Hyderabad. Both parents are doctors. I've been based in Bangalore since 2008. Capillary was also started here. Anand, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hello everyone.
August of 2008, really took kids out of college, didn't have a big business idea on what we wanted to do. And we kind of then went the way of, saying which are two sectors that are doing very well. Typically the way investors would look at it saying pick two sunrise sectors, do something in between them, and as those sectors grow, you will grow with it. If you remember 2008, malls were starting to open up, a lot of retailers were expanding, even international retailers in India as well as the domestic brands. So we said we'll do something in retail, and then the other area we thought was mobile. That the mobile story in India has been ubiquitous for many decades now. So we said let's pick retail and mobile and do something in between them. Right? This was early. It was August 11, 2008 when we started. Now, if you all remember, September 11th was when Lehman Brothers tanked. There was a global recession. The stock markets fell. There was a pretty bad next year or so was pretty bad. And in this period, we were going around asking retailers and asking mobile companies that, look, we can build good software. We from IIT. Tell us what problems you have, right? And what we heard from a lot of folks was the Diwali that year was pretty bad. Stock markets were down, and the general sentiment we got was, look, customers aren't coming back to stores. So if you bring customers back to stores, we might be interested in what you're trying to build, right? So, and that's how we got into the loyalty management space. So, what is loyalty management? Loyalty management is, I'm sure all of you have gone to a retail store, got points or coupons for, for coming to the store, or if you've flown an Indigo, they have this thing called Blue Chip, where, every time you fly, you get points which you can redeem later, right? So, or if you stayed at the Taj, they have this Taj Inner Circle thing, right? So, any kind of a long-term retention program for customers, right? So, that's what we do. So, today, if you look at us, an Indigo Blue Chip runs on us, Air India Express, their loyalty program runs on us. The Tata Group has New Coins, which is their program across the Tata Group that runs on us. If you've gone to a Pantaloons or to a Louis Philippe, Atibullah Fashion, their brands also use us, right? So that's how we started. We started with loyalty management back in 2008. All kinds of points, coupons, rewards, recognition, tiers, things like that is what our software manages for these brands, right? So we did this in India for the first 4 years, 2008 to 2012. We were focused only on India as a market, won a lot of customers, the business was doing well. Around 2011 was when one of our customers, Puma, their MD of India became their MD of Asia. And then he pegged us to saying, why don't you do this for us in Singapore and in a Middle East, right? So that's how we went out and did our first international markets. We opened an office in Singapore, and Anand moved to Singapore. We opened an office in Middle East, in Dubai. The next 7-8 years was really just Asia, India, Middle East, and Southeast Asia were our primary markets. We were doing about 10 crores of revenues in 2011. That scaled to about 200 crores by 2020 across Asia markets. And then COVID hit. At that point in time, we were working only with retailers. The lockdowns meant all retail stores were shut. And so our revenues stumbled, our cash flows went off by 80%. In 2020 is when we realized that, I think, you need to build a global business. US, Europe are more resilient. So in 2020, we opened up US and Europe as markets. What we also did was we took a few pivots. Instead of doing only retailers as customers, we also started working with conglomerates like the Tatas. We also started working with Polycab, people like Polycab, consumer goods companies, airlines and hotels, Taj and Indigo, right? So basically, it's expanded the number of verticals. The third thing we did was we said during COVID, the only customers who continued to pay us were the large enterprises. The smaller customers, their stores were shut, so they couldn't. So we also made a very natural pivot to saying we'll focus on the very large customers going forward, right? So cut to today, over the last 3-4 years, we in COVID went down from 200 to about 120 crores in FY21. We've now gone back all the way to about 600 crores last year. First half of this year, we've done 720 crores in revenue. So it's been a good 5-6x growth from in the last 4 years in that sense. Retail also, although still continues to grow for us, is today about 30% of our revenue. It used to be 100% of our revenue before COVID. Now it's come down to 30%. A lot of other verticals like healthcare, travel, conglomerates have kind of grown well for us. Finally, we decided to focus on large enterprises in COVID. Today, we work with 19 of the Fortune 500. Fortune 500 is the top 500 companies in the world. We work with 19 of them. So it's been an interesting, journey over the last 3-4 years. I'll call Anant to take you through a little bit more about the company.
So a little bit more details about the company. We work with about 100 brands, 100 companies in the form of 400 plus brands today, with operations from US to Japan. About 55% of our business comes from US today, about 15% from Europe and the rest from Asia. So the business is well spread out in different parts of the world. In terms of the customers, it's a solution which is designed for large enterprises, and we handle scale, which is probably one of the largest in the world from loyalty point of view. So about 1.8 billion consumers on the platform. We process about 7 billion transactions annually, and $1 trillion plus of commerce flew through our platform last year. In terms of employees, we have 700 plus employees globally. Again, our tech centers are based in Bangalore and Mysore. That's where we have majority of the employees, and then we have about 150 employees in the US, about 50 in the Europe, and the rest in Asia. The other way to understand about loyalty is to look at what independent analysts talk about loyalty as a space. And best way to figure out all the players in the loyalty space is a Forrester way. They do a deep study across 100 plus loyalty providers, and they pick top 14 out of that every year. And of the top 14, they evaluate all those 14 on 28 different parameters. So in the last wave that Forrester published, we were in the top 2. And if you pick any other reports like that of Everest or Peak Metrics, you would find Capillary in the top 2. The place where it also helps us is that they refer Capillary in a lot of cases, and today more than 50% of our business comes inbound to us through referrals from independent analysts or system integrators or independent consultants. Capillary also has had the privilege of having great investors over the years. We had Peak XP, which was Sequoia before, as our Series A investor, then MVP in Series B, Warburg Pincus in Series C. So we have had great marquee investors over all of these years. Lastly, some of the customers that we work with, brands. Some of the brands you would be aware of would be Aditya Birla Fashion Retail, A6, Indigo, Vishal Mega Mart, Puma, Benetton. So a lot of brands that you use in your daily life are our customers.
Moving ahead, our story in quick 5 lines. We play in the loyalty space. Loyalty programs have been around for a very long time, especially in the US. Most large customers have some kind of program or other. So if you look at loyalty, it's about a $17 billion addressable market globally. We typically we target the top very large customers. So it's typically the top 1,500 consumer brands in US, Europe or Asia. So about 4,500 customers is what we target to win. And they typically spend this 17 billion of spends annually on loyalty. If you look at the space, like all marketing, loyalty also started in agencies, right? So, marketing agencies is where loyalty started. Even today in the US, if you look at any of these analyst reports, majority of the large companies are agencies from the US. Companies like an Epsilon or Merkle or Kobe and the likes. What's happening in the last few years is customers want to move from a slow, very manual agency-like work to better software, right? So more automation, you can do things a lot faster. You don't need 30 people running a program. You can have 2 people running it, right? So and that's the big evolution that we're seeing on the agency to software is the benefit that we see. Almost all our customers come by we replace someone. We replace an agency usually, right? So that's a little bit about the market for you. Coming to Capillary, we pick any analyst report on loyalty globally, whether it's a Forrester or a Everest or any of them, you will see us in the top 2, right? So that's usually that helps a lot because for a lot of these large enterprises, they want to work with the best in the world. Right, so and us leading a lot of these analyst reports helps us do that. Now, why do we end up winning? Our approach to loyalty has been very vertical specific. Let me take a couple of minutes to explain that. Now, every business needs loyal customers, right? Your profits come from your loyal customers usually, right? So, but what loyalty means to each vertical is different. Like if you're the Tata Group, you want a Tanishq customer to go stay at a Taj, right? You want the CAC to sit you want the customer acquisition cost to sit in the group. You want customers to go from one brand to the other. If you're an Indigo, your use case of loyalty is when you're flying on work, earn your points. When you're flying on your vacation, redeem your points, right? So it's that kind of slightly different use cases, right? So what we've done is we picked a vertical, built deep for each of these verticals. Right, so instead of a customer having to customize the product, if you're of a certain vertical, all those features are already available. Right, so we end up winning because of depth of product more than anything else. There's also a lot of AI in the product. Usually, if an agency is running a program, they usually have about 30 people running a loyalty program. So what we've done is we've said, what are all the jobs that happen in loyalty? Right, there's an analyst pulling reports, there's someone running a campaign, there's someone testing promotions, there's someone answering questions on a call center, and we built AI agents for each of these roles. Right, so and typically you probably need 2-3 people to run a program on the Capillary platform. On a agency side, you probably need 30. Right, so that's the level of efficiency because of the AI stuff there. We have a lot of scale on the platform. Today on the first line we've got 1.25 billion consumers on the platform. We do about 15.7 billion transactions. So in just the first half of this year. So give and take, that's roughly $1 trillion of commerce hitting the platform every 6 months now. Right, so. Again, in terms of scale, 2 of the Fortune 10, 19 of the Fortune 500 are customers. With that, Anand, if you want to talk about numbers and growth.
Quick view on the numbers. So we have roughly grown from 207 odd crores in FY23 to 598 crores in FY25. So that's almost tripling the business over FY23 to FY25. Now this growth has come over three engines. We kind of drive three engine train over here. The first growth engine is expanding the business through new customers, so winning new logos in the market, and we try and win a Fortune 500 customer every quarter. We today have 19 of Fortune 500 customers. When we had filed DRHP a couple of quarters back, this number was 16. So we're fast expanding by winning new logos in the market. As Anish talked about, that we have taken a more vertical specific approach towards loyalty. So we have a deep product for each vertical use cases. So for a conglomerate, or for a airline, or for a hotel, or for a healthcare, the product is really deep, which helps us differentiate ourselves from the competition and win more. The second growth engine is expanding with existing customers. So today about 15% of growth comes from existing customers doing more business with Capillary. Now this happens on the back of a few factors. One is just expanding through inflationary increases. The other is expanding into newer geographies. So a lot of multinationals that we...
I'm Anish. I'm the founder and CEO at Capillary Technologies. We have an upcoming IPO that opens tomorrow. As Capillary, we help large global companies run their loyalty and customer engagement. So if you've got blue chips at an Indigo, or you've got points at a Pantaloons, or new coins at the Tata Group, those are some of the programs that we run. We work with 19 of the Fortune 500 companies globally. We are top rated in the space by Forrester, Everest, and all other global analysts. The company is profitable. We are at a 11-12% EBITDA percentage. For the first half of the year, we've generated 360 crores of revenues and 55 crores of free cash. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Anant. I'm CEO, CFO for the firm. Capillary has filed for an IPO, and we are going to be listing on 21st. We are closing our anchor book today. We have seen a great participation from some of the largest institutional investors in the country, and some of the leading FIIs from the globe. The company has been profitable. The first half of the year, we have generated revenue of about 360 crores and cash of about 55 crores. The company has been growing well. Over FY23 to FY25, the company has almost tripled its revenue. At the same time, has improved profitability from about -4% to about 12.5%. We would love to have you participate in the IPO, and look forward to building a great company together.
Thank you.